The universe is not a nursery. It is a silent and dark slaughterhouse. If you think the stars are there to light your way, you are a romantic idiot. They are indifferent nuclear furnaces, and the planets orbiting them are, for the most part, creative variations of how to destroy flesh and bone in seconds. We live on a privileged grain of dust, but out there, the rule is collapse. Imagine worlds where the air you breathe is liquid metal, or where gravity flattens you like an empty beer can on hot asphalt. There is no purpose, only the raw mechanics of gases, pressures, and radiation frying the void. We are here by a statistical error, surrounded by neighbors that would kill us without even noticing our insignificant existence. It is about this pure hostility that we are going to talk today, without filters and without the lie of manifest destiny. Every world we discover is a reminder that life is a fragile anomaly in an ocean of thermal and chemical chaos. If you're comfortable now, enjoy it, because the reality out there is a punch to the gut. Before we dive into this cosmic morgue, tell me one thing. From which corner of this doomed planet are you watching this right now? Leave it in the comments, if that even matters in the grand scheme of things. Let's start with HD 189733b. At first glance, a deep, beautiful blue, it looks like a calm ocean. A lie. This blue is the reflection of silicate particles in the atmosphere. Basically, it rains glass. And it's not a drizzle, it's 7,000 km/h winds pushing shards of molten glass sideways. If you stepped there, your eyes would be the first to go, sanded to the nerve in milliseconds. The temperature reaches 1,000 degrees Celsius. It's a bluish meat grinder. Then we have WASP 76b. This is a hot Jupiter suffering from tidal locking. One side is always facing the star, cooking at 2,400 degrees. Iron evaporates, rises into the atmosphere, and when air currents carry this vapor to the dark side, it condenses. The result? Liquid iron rain. Imagine drops of glowing metal piercing your carcass while you try to breathe air saturated with metallic poison. Physics here has no ethics. It just follows the pressure and temperature gradient, turning basic elements into instruments of torture. There is no firm ground, only an infinite descent toward a core that would crush you before you even felt the heat. It is the indifference of thermodynamics in its purest form. Every molecule of iron that falls is a reminder that biology is a bad joke in the face of extreme planetary chemistry. The universe doesn't want you to understand it. It wants you to disappear.
Now think about TRES 2b. It is the darkest planet ever discovered. It reflects less than 1% of the light it receives. It is blacker than coal, blacker than your future. It is a giant mass of gas orbiting a star just 5 million kilometers away. The heat is hellish, but the light does not escape. It's like being trapped inside a turned-off oven in absolute darkness, feeling your skin bubble without seeing what is killing you. It is total isolation. There are no stars in the sky of this world, only the sickly reddish glow of latent heat. And if you think the dark is bad, try 55 Cancri E. It is what we call a carbon planet. The pressure inside is so absurd that large portions of its volume are made of diamond. But forget the jewelry. Imagine miles of raw, sharp diamond under temperatures that would melt your soul. The surface is a sea of silicate lava. It is a luxury hell where wealth is irrelevant because you would be dead before you could look at the ground. Carbon, the basis of life, here becomes a crystalline and lethal prison. It is the ultimate irony. The same element that forms your cells is out there in industrial quantities, waiting to crush you under trillions of tons of pressure. The universe likes to repeat patterns, but it changes the scales to make sure you know your place. The ground, like dust. There are rogue planets, or orphan worlds. These are the true nihilists of the cosmos. They do not orbit any star. They were expelled from their original systems by gravitational fights, and now wander through the absolute void between galaxies. It is a cold you cannot conceive, almost absolute zero. The atmosphere, if it existed, froze and fell to the ground like nitrogen snow. It is eternal silence. If you were left there, there would be no sound, no light, no hope, just you and the infinite vacuum. It is the final destination of everything if you stop to think about it. The isolation of these worlds is the physical representation of human loneliness, only on a planetary scale. No one will hear you scream in a place where the air itself has turned to stone. And speaking of weight, look at super-Earths like Gliese 667 cc. They look promising, but gravity is the problem. Imagine weighing 3 times more. Every step is a Herculean effort. Your heart cannot pump blood to your brain. Your joints burst. Your internal organs collapse under their own weight. It is a gravitational trap. You arrive thinking you've found a new home and end up as a damp stain on the rocky ground. Terrestrial biology is a cardboard structure trying to survive in a world of steel. If you are finding this journey heavy, you already know what to do. Subscribe and click the bell, because reality is only going to get dirtier from here on out. It's the least you can do before the inevitable collapse.
Let's talk about radiation. PSR 1257 plus 12. This system doesn't have a normal star. It has a pulsar. It is the corpse of a massive star that exploded and now spins hundreds of times per second, emitting beams of gamma radiation and X-rays that sweep the surrounding planets. It's like living inside a particle accelerator turned to the maximum. Your atoms would be ripped from each other. Your DNA would be disintegrated like paper in a fire. There is no possible protection. It is a radioactive cemetery where matter is constantly bombarded by pure and lethal energy. And then we have eyeball planets. They orbit red dwarfs so closely that they are locked. One side is an eternal desert of fire, the other an infinite ice cap. In the middle, a twilight zone where permanent storms of biblical proportions occur due to the temperature difference. It is a precarious balance between 2 types of death. If you move a kilometer to the wrong side, you either fry or you become a meat popsicle. Life, if it existed there, would be a marginal existence, hidden in crevices, fleeing the sickly light of a star that can emit deadly flares at any moment. It is survival on the edge of the impossible, in a world that looks like a giant eye staring at you, waiting for you to make the first mistake. The universe does not forgive calculation errors, and these worlds are proof that the margin of error for life is almost zero. Korat 7b is a geological nightmare. It is so close to its star that a year there lasts only 20 hours. The temperature on the illuminated face is 2,500 degrees. That is hot enough to vaporize rock. Yes, the atmosphere is made of vaporized minerals, and when this vapor rises and cools a bit, it condenses and rains rocks. It's not ice hail, it's pebbles of solidified magma falling from the sky. It is a hydrological cycle where water has been replaced by molten rock. Imagine the sound of that hitting what's left of your helmet. It is mechanical and thermal destruction in perfect synchrony. The ground is an ocean of lava in constant agitation. There is not an inch of peace. It is mineral chaos. The geology here is aggressive, unstable, a reminder that the firm ground beneath our feet is a rare exception. In most of the universe, ground is a fluid concept or a death sentence. The atmospheric pressure is so high that sodium and potassium vapor glows with a sickly yellowish light, illuminating a scene of continuous devastation. You don't breathe on Korot 7b, you inhale the end of times. It is accelerated entropy, matter being recycled in a violent and meaningless way. The universe is not building anything, it is just grinding what is left of the original creation until nothing remains but ash and background radiation. It is the spectacle of planetary self-destruction. GJ 1214b is often called a water world. Sounds refreshing, doesn't it? Wrong. It is a world of steam and hot ice. The pressure is so immense that water is forced into exotic states like Ice VII, which is solid even at very high temperatures. There is no ocean to swim in. There is a supercritical fluid, a bizarre mixture between gas and liquid that would crush your lungs and dissolve your skin. It is a planetary sauna at hundreds of degrees, where humidity is a chemical weapon. You would die cooked from the inside out, while hydrostatic pressure would turn your bones to dust. It is the negation of everything we know about water as a source of life. Here, water is the executioner. And finally, we have Kepler 438b, Earth's almost perfect twin. It's in the habitable zone, it's the right size, but its star is an unstable red dwarf. Every few days, it launches super flares that strip the atmosphere and bathe the surface with ionizing radiation. It is hope being destroyed repeatedly. It is the planet that could have been, but never will be. It is the reflection of our own existence, a place that looks good on paper, but in practice is a silent extermination camp. The universe loves to create these illusions of habitability just to show that life is a geographical accident that it is ready to correct at any moment with a fortuitous stellar explosion. In the end, these 10 worlds are just a tiny sample of the morgue we call a galaxy. Physics has no feelings, chemistry has no plans, and space has no mercy. We are a rounding error in an equation of mass destruction. Looking at these planets is not about scientific curiosity, it's about brutal humility. It's understanding that our bubble of oxygen and mild temperature is a bizarre and temporary anomaly. The universe is made of liquid iron, glass rain, gamma radiation, and absolute vacuum. Life is an unwanted intruder trying to survive in a system that was designed to be sterile. There are no gods looking after us, only the statistical luck of not being in the crosshairs of a pulsar or in the path of a rock rain. Accept your insignificance. It is liberating to know that none of this matters and that the cosmos will continue to spin and grind planets long after our species becomes just a layer of carbon in the Earth's soil. If you manage to endure this dose of reality without despairing, maybe there is still hope for your sanity, or maybe you've just accepted the chaos, like me. If you want to continue exploring the ugly side of existence, you know where to find me. The invitation is made, but don't expect comfort. The world is what it is, and the rest is an illusion for those who are afraid of the dark. Until next time, if the universe allows.